Greetings, Captains. I'm here on the 9.2 test server on the PTS, checking out the new IFHE, and the HE shells are changing, and they're going to change some of the plating. It's all the information you need is on the website. Please read it. It's a long read, but it's worth having a look and trying to get your head around so you can understand what the changes are processing and thinking about. I'm sorry about my phone being a pain in the bum. So yeah, we've got some changes coming up, and let's embrace these. I'm glad they're changing the IFHE because I think that was a little bit much. I'm a bit surprised that they changed the HE shells, but this is what we're going to have to do. So the changes, let's go through the basics, and you can read the rest on the portal, which I thoroughly suggest you do. It's all there in the developments bulletin in the portal. This is all to do with the armor penetration capacity of the HE shells, and this is going to depend on the ship's tier and the size of the guns. There's the IFHE skill will have only half chance of fire now after this, instead of the 1/4 and the 1/3 and that, only 50% chance of fire. That has reduced it a lot. The fire damage, that's your total possible damage, really. And so it may be more of a choice as to whether you take IFHE, less of a necessity on some ships. But that's a standard chance. You can enhance it with Demo Expert and Fire Flags, but that doesn't go up by a lot. So yeah, let's have a look at the mechanics. So basically, it's all here. It's got a little tick box there. You just click that and you've dropped down table. So you're looking at the caliber of the main and secondary. This is applying to the secondary guns as well, not just the main guns, the secondary HE too. That's all HE. So you've got to look at all the different guns on your ships. You got 180. At the moment, it's 29 mils. After the change to the HE, without IFHE, this is just basic stats. From 29 mils, you'll be able to penetrate 30 mils. So that's an extra millimeter. Can make a difference. Your bigger guns, that's tiers 8 to 10. Basically, you'll be able to penetrate an extra 7 mil. 30, 31 instead of the 24. Tier 1 to 7 ships, which is the 150, the 152 millimeters. That's an extra millimeter on top of their penetration, which is cool. The thing that, as it all sits here, we've got the 150s, 128s, 113s. Can go up to 19 mil. 100 millimeters, Japanese tier 8 to 10 ships. They're unable to penetrate the fore and aft ends of same tier cruisers. Well, yeah, that was a bit of a pain. That's why we never used the guns. Well, now with the new HE changes, you should be able to penetrate the fore and aft end of same tier cruisers. So that's a bit of a buff. And if you don't mind losing half your fire chance, you could stick IFHE on your Japanese cruiser, Japanese 100mm guns, and maybe you'll get a little bit more penetration on that and be able to penetrate up to 27, 28 mil. They have changed. I've lost it somewhere, but it's not as the same as it was before. It's up to and including the amount, not just up to the amount. So you've got 30 mil deck and a gun that can penetrate a 30 mil deck, it will penetrate the 30 mil deck. It's up to and including the amount now, which is all very difficult, and I've lost where it was. So yeah. The armor thickness, though. Now this is something to deal with cruisers predominantly. The central part, which is above your torpedo belt, that area, the central part will now, armor thickness after the change, has gone up to 16 mil. So there's a few of these that are quite interesting. So it goes by the caliber of the guns, the tier, except the British light cruisers, of course. Oh, Devonshire and Surrey. Yeah, it's the deck armour on the cruisers carrying the 149 to 190 guns, except, of course, the British light cruisers. Your deck is 16 mil, and that is going to go up to 25 mil. So, protection after the change, AP shell caliber, chance of ricochet. So yeah, you've got a lot of little changes. It's a millimetre here, 2 millimetres there, but it does make a difference. But they've had to do this to balance the HE changes so that it's not, they don't end up overpowered. I can understand that, it's fine. Because if you change one thing, you knock the whole line out. Everything else changes. And so they have to sort of change one thing a little bit and then make sure they check out all the other bits to make sure everything all fits. Otherwise, everyone's going to be crying. And we don't want that. Cruisers Cheshire, Albemarle and Drake. Their broadside is 25 mil at the moment. It's going up to 27 mil, which means you're going to get a little more bouncy off the AP, and the HE is up to 27 mil. So you only think that can penetrate up to and including 27 mil is going to go through. The cruisers Colbert and Smolensk. Everybody loves Smolensk. The central part, that's the bit above the torpedo belt. Yeah, it's going down to 16 mil. I can hear you crying already. You are going to overpen and overpen and overpen. But just change to HE, because your HE is going to knock the socks off it. I'm not looking forward to this. I love my Smolensk. The cruisers Salem and Des Moines. Their central part at the moment is 27 mil, and that's now going up to 30 mil. So that's going to be a wee buff, maybe, but then the AP shells are going to arm and not go straight through. So yeah, you see what I mean? It's going to be a big balancy thing. The deck armour, except the British cruiser, it looks as though the British light cruisers have not been touched at all. So Mino, you're still safe, darling. But yeah, it goes through from tier 6 upwards, little tweaks, just to cope with the HE changes. I mean, don't forget, a lot of people that are going to have IFHE are going to stick it on and going to carry on as normal anyway. They're just going to lose the chance of fire. So that's the main important changes for this patch. I tested them out last night on the test server, and it didn't go too well. Unfortunately, my graphics card decided it wasn't going to like it. But anyway, so a few more visual enhancements. We have a new port. No, that's a rehash. They've brightened up a ports and such like. We do have a new one. I'll show you in a minute. The New Year camos. Oops. Very pretty. The Infernal camouflage will now be available for tiers 8 to 10 aircraft carriers. And the tier 8 aircraft carriers will be able to get access to the New Year camouflage, which I think is quite cheerful myself. But yeah, that's me. Now, this is the thing I like. The UI has been improved. Woo-woo! Replacing the commanders, some modules, mastering and resetting skills, fitting or mounting camouflages, which don't affect the ship's geometry, i.e. the infernals and such like. And mounting of signals will now happen faster. Yay, unless your graphics card says no, like mine did last night. So yeah, we've got a lot of changes coming in. There's a lot to do. I mean, I'm not going to go through every single part of it because everybody will think of it in a different way. You really need to go onto the website. You really need to go to the dev blog, the developers bulletin on the web page, and have a little read. It's all here. If you're not sure, download the test client and come on the PTS with us. We've got all over the weekend. I think it's till Monday. So download the client and come and join it. Look at it and see how you feel. If you've partaken in tests before 9 Christmas, the last lot of tests, your client will just be mirrored onto the test server. But if you're a new one, you'll get a load of doubloons and bits and pieces and be just given a load of ships to test with. So either way, you'll still be able to test the IFHE and you'll be able to do that. So yeah. But on the actual test server, we've got 16 mil there. We've got 20 mil there now. I mean, it's not all of them have changed. I haven't got Drake. So yeah, we've got 27 mil. That's their mid section. That's what they call the middle section, the central section, the bit above the torpedo belt there. And the Des Moines. So therefore, your broadside, you're giving your broadside to a, or even a slight angle. The shells are going to arm predominantly, and they're going to do damage. They're not going to get the through and through over penetrations anymore. Yeah, it is good in some respects because the HE is not going to penetrate as easily, even with IFHE. That's cool, but battleships are more likely to annihilate you. And as for the Smolensk boos, it's 16 all over. Overpenetrated city is going to happen on this now, unless they hit the Citadel armor, because that will arm the shells. Because as you know, it's got to be a certain amount before it'll arm the shells. Yeah, this is going to be Overpen City now. I will have to take her out and give her a trial, and I'm going to cry if it doesn't work right. It's going to be so sad. But yeah, my advice to you, if you're not sure, get yourself on the PTS server, guys. Try it out. And then if you do try it out, have a good go, give a good few battles, then go on to the forums. The link is in the bottom of is on the portal. Go onto the particular forum and tell them how you feel, constructively, of course. Give them your ideas of how you felt about it, how it worked. Maybe put a few screenshots in there of your results or something. Because the more feedback they get, the better they can judge whether it's right or it's wrong. They might hold it back again and give it another tweak if they don't get, what they want to say. If you all feel this is great, it's brilliant, then that's fine. The one ship that there's a few, apart from the Smolensk and the HE on that, if you HE on here, main battery, the HE shell, maximum damage is still the same, which I think that should be lowered, not so much anything else. I've got IFHE on this one at the moment, and you say to yourself, well, the chance of fire is 4%, and I've got Fireflax. I haven't got Demo Expert though. No. So yeah, it really does knock the fire chance down. Let's change to Captain and put on my Moskva Captain, who does not have IFHE. and now the chance of fire is 8%. So it is literally half. So I'm looking at, I'm saying, is IFHE worth it for cruisers, etc.? Because fire is my personal basic damage thing. Where are we? I have lost him. I'm on cruisers. The destroyers, though. I went out in the kiddie last night, and I stuck IFHE on one of the captains, and I did a game with and game without. I can't show them because they are very stuttery, because my graphics card decided, nope, I don't want to work anymore. I'm giving up. But yeah, your artillery, you've got with IFHE, you've got 3% fire chance, but you've got slightly better penetration. You will do damage, and I was doing damage on the fore and the aft and some midsections of cruisers, which was quite nice. I got quite high damage gain, which was quite good. And yeah, it's going to be very much personal choice now. It's not so much of a necessity. But please do go and read the forums, look up at the development bulletin, and join the PTS. Test it out, guys. This is, I think, for some people, a really big change. And testing it all out on the PTS is the best way to find out how you're going to do when it all comes onto the live server. That's if it does. With the feedback, they might decide to hold it back a bit and tweak it a bit more. So go into the PTS, test it out, and give them some constructive words that they can work with. And until then, Captains, thank you for watching. I hope this has been useful information for you, and I will see you on stream and maybe on the next video. See you later.